Attention, all Malaysian travelers. Before you book your next flight, you need to know these 7 major changes that take effect before April 15, 2026. Ignoring them could cost you money, your seat, or even your entire trip. Number 1. Malaysia Airlines has officially announced an extension of its suspension of all flights to and from Doha, Qatar, now lasting until April 15, 2026. This decision comes as a direct result of ongoing regional airspace closures, which have made it impossible for the airline to operate its usual routes safely and efficiently. The closure of key air corridors in the Middle East has forced airlines across the region to reconsider their flight paths, and Malaysia Airlines is no exception. The airline has emphasized that the safety of its passengers and crew remains its top priority, and with the current geopolitical situation showing no signs of immediate resolution, the suspension is expected to remain in place for the foreseeable future. This move has significant implications, not only for travelers flying directly between Kuala Lumpur and Doha, but also for those who rely on Doha as a major transit hub for connecting flights to Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. The airline's decision reflects the broader challenges facing the aviation industry in times of regional instability, where sudden changes in airspace accessibility can disrupt carefully planned schedules and itineraries overnight. If you have already booked a connecting flight through Doha, whether your final destination is in Europe, the Middle East, or even Africa, your travel plans have likely been significantly disrupted. Many travelers use Doha's Hamad International Airport as a key transit point, taking advantage of its extensive network of connecting flights operated by various airlines. With Malaysia Airlines suspending its Doha operations, passengers who were scheduled to transit through this hub will now need to make alternative arrangements. This could mean rerouting through other major airports in the region, such as Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or Istanbul, depending on availability and airline partnerships. The disruption may also result in longer travel times, additional layovers, or even the need to reschedule entire trips. For some, this could mean missing important events, business meetings, or family gatherings. It's important to check your itinerary carefully and stay updated on the latest information from both Malaysia Airlines and your connecting carriers. The airline has stated that it is working closely with affected passengers to minimize inconvenience, but the scale of the disruption means that some delays and changes are inevitable. If you find yourself affected by this suspension, it is absolutely essential to contact Malaysia Airlines as soon as possible. The airline is offering several options for affected passengers, including rebooking on alternative routes, obtaining travel vouchers, or requesting a full refund. You can reach out to Malaysia Airlines through their official website, mobile app, customer service hotline, or by visiting their ticketing offices at the airport. Be prepared to provide your booking reference and personal details to expedite the process. The airline's customer service teams are currently experiencing high call volumes due to the widespread impact of the suspension, so patience may be required. However, Malaysia Airlines has assured customers that every effort will be made to accommodate their needs and find suitable solutions. If you booked your ticket through a travel agent or third-party website, you should also contact them directly, as they may be able to assist with rebooking or refunds. Remember to keep all documentation related to your original booking and any correspondence with the airline, as this will help resolve your case more efficiently. Most importantly, do not go to the airport expecting your original flight to operate as scheduled. With the suspension in effect, Malaysia Airlines will not be processing check-ins or boarding for any flights to or from Doha. Arriving at the airport without having made alternative arrangements will only lead to frustration and disappointment, as staff will be unable to assist you with your original itinerary. Instead, focus on communicating with the airline or your travel agent to secure a new booking or obtain a refund before making any further travel plans. Stay informed by regularly checking the Malaysia Airlines website and official social media channels for updates, as the situation may continue to evolve. By taking proactive steps and staying in close contact with the airline, you can minimize the disruption to your travel and ensure a smoother journey, even in these challenging circumstances. Number 2. Batik Air, one of Malaysia's prominent airlines, has made a significant decision that will impact thousands of travelers in the coming months. The airline has announced a drastic reduction in its operational capacity, slashing the number of available seats and flights by a staggering 35%. This reduction is set to remain in effect until April 12, 2026, marking a substantial shift in the airline's usual schedule and service offerings. The move comes as Batik Air faces a combination of operational challenges, including fluctuating passenger demand, rising operational costs, and the need to optimize its resources in a highly competitive aviation market. For many regular passengers, this announcement may come as a surprise, especially for those who rely on Batik Air for frequent domestic and regional travel. The airline, known for its extensive network and affordable fares, is now forced to make tough choices to ensure its long-term sustainability and service quality. One of the most noticeable effects of this capacity cut is the reduction in flight frequencies to popular destinations, such as Penang. Previously, Batik Air operated up to 5 flights daily between Kuala Lumpur and Penang, offering travelers flexibility and convenience throughout the day. However, with the new capacity limits, this frequency has been reduced to just 2 flights per day. This means that passengers will have fewer options when planning their trips, and flights are likely to be more crowded or sell out faster than before. The reduction in service is not limited to Penang alone. Other key routes across Malaysia and the region are also seeing similar cuts, affecting both business and leisure travelers. For those who depend on Batik Air for last-minute travel or regular commutes, these changes could mean adjusting travel plans, booking further in advance, or even considering alternative airlines. The airline has stated that these measures are temporary and are being implemented to better match supply with current demand, but the impact on travelers is immediate and significant. If you have an existing Batik Air booking scheduled between now and April 12th, it is crucial to check your flight status as soon as possible. With the capacity reduction, there's a real possibility that your flight may have been canceled, rescheduled, or merged with another service. The airline is reaching out to affected passengers via email and SMS, but it's always best to proactively monitor your booking through the Batik Air website or mobile app. If your flight has been changed, you may be offered alternative travel dates, a refund, or the option to rebook on another available flight. For travelers with connecting flights or time-sensitive plans, these changes could have a ripple effect, so it's important to review your entire itinerary and make adjustments as needed. Airport staff and customer service representatives are on hand to assist with rebooking and to answer any questions, but expect longer wait times at check-in counters and on customer service hotlines due to the increased volume of inquiries. In summary, Batik Air's 35% capacity cut is a major development for Malaysia's aviation sector, and all affected passengers should stay informed and flexible as the situation evolves. Number 3. Batik Air has increased its fuel surcharge or YQ in 2 phases starting March 11th and March 25th, 2026. Any ticket booked after these dates includes higher fuel fees. If you haven't purchased your ticket yet, expect to pay more. If you already booked, your fare is locked in. Number 4. Let's talk about the R499 ceiling fare, a policy that's been the subject of much discussion among travelers flying between peninsular Malaysia and the states of Sabah and Sarawak. This government-imposed cap was introduced as a way to make air travel more affordable, especially during peak festive seasons when ticket prices can skyrocket. The intention behind this move was to help Malaysians, particularly those who need to return home for major celebrations, avoid being priced out of flights during the most important times of the year. For many, these journeys are not just about travel, they're about reuniting with family, celebrating cultural traditions, and maintaining connections across the country's vast geography. However, it's crucial to understand that this R499 cap is not a blanket rule that applies all year round. In fact, the cap is only enforced during a very specific window. 3 days before major festive seasons such as Hari Raya, Gawai, or Kaamatan. These are times when demand for flights surges dramatically, and airlines might otherwise raise prices to levels that are unaffordable for many. By limiting the cap to just these 3 days before the festivals, the government aims to strike a balance between protecting consumers and allowing airlines to operate profitably during the rest of the year. So, if you're planning to travel home for a festival, you'll benefit from this cap, but only if your flight falls within that narrow window. Outside of those specific festive windows, airlines are free to set their own prices based on market demand. This means that ticket prices can vary widely depending on when you book, how full the flights are, and other factors like fuel costs or operational expenses. During off-peak times, you might find tickets that are much cheaper than the RA499 cap, especially if you book early or travel on less popular days. But during periods of high demand that don't fall within the capped window, such as school holidays, long weekends, or other local events, prices can still climb significantly. It's always a good idea to monitor prices and book as early as possible if you want to secure the best deals. So don't assume you'll automatically get the R499 capped price for any flight between Peninsular Malaysia and Sabah, or Sarawak. For example, if you're flying on a random Tuesday in May that doesn't coincide with a major festival, the cap simply doesn't apply. You could end up paying more, or less, depending on the market rate at that time. The key takeaway is to be aware of when the cap is in effect and plan your travel accordingly. If you need to travel during a festival, try to book within the capped window to take advantage of the government's protection. Otherwise, keep an eye on prices, compare options, and book early to avoid last-minute surprises. Understanding these limitations can help you make smarter travel decisions and potentially save a significant amount on your next trip. Number 5. The RM499 cap is one-way only. Flights returning from Sabah and Sarawak to the peninsula have no price ceiling. You could pay RM499 to go east, but RM800 to come back, so, yeah, budget accordingly. Number 6. Malaysia Airlines change and cancellation fees now vary strictly by fare class. Non-refundable fares have become even more restrictive. If you bought the cheapest ticket, you likely cannot change or cancel without paying significant penalties. Always check your fare rules before clicking purchase. Number 7. Consumer protection rules have shifted following the merger of Mavcom into CAM on August 1, 2025. Your rights regarding delays, cancellations, and refunds are now enforced by CAM alone. If you need to file a complaint after April 15th, you must go through CAAMA's new unified system, not Mavcom. Share this video with your family, friends, and everyone you know. Make sure you share it on all WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, and Telegram groups you are in to keep everyone informed. While you are hitting that share button, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. Hit the red button. Hit the